Thank you. So, can you explain to us what fit to sit means and why it's important when submitting a piece of work?
Yeah, so fit to sit in some ways is the best person to decide whether you can hand in a piece of work on time is you. We're not able to make that decision for you. So we need you to reflect on how you're feeling, how unwell you are, and make that decision if you're able to submit the assignment or to undertake the exam. Obviously, if you're getting support from your doctor or another external expert, we would, kind of take a recommendation from them. But we have had students in the past, and sometimes it's the right decision, sometimes it's not, where a student knows they're unwell, they've had a note, it's not an infectious disease, but they think, do you know what, I just want to get this assessment done, I want to get it out of the way, so to speak, if you take it in the positive sense, and they decide they want to complete the assessment at that point. Maybe they want to go home for Christmas and they don't want it on their mind, or assessments that are due in the second semester. If you mitigate it, you might have to do the resit in the August period. So sometimes students think, even though I know I'm not at my best, I'm going to undertake that assessment. So in essence, fit to sit, we're asking you, do you feel able to undertake this assessment at the required point? And as I said, in many ways, you're the best person to make that decision. You know how you're feeling, you know how long you've been impacted for. So that's what fit to sit is. I don't know if I'm going to go into another question, but I will just say, if you do decide to undertake an exam at that point, we're not able to award mitigation after you've attempted the exam. So if you get the grade and you think, oh, do you know what, I really wasn't great and I've failed that assignment, or normally I'm getting 70s or 80% and I've got 35% or 40% on this one, you can still appeal that grade to the academic appeal team. It's a longer and slightly more complex process. So ideally, it's better if you make the decision before. And if you're not sure, just have a chat with one of the student engagement and welfare advisors. They'll be more than happy to have a chat with you. But in essence, that's what you're doing. You're declaring that, yes, I'm aware of my circumstances and I'm going to undertake this assessment at this point.
So, to reiterate, you can only mitigate before your assessment is due.
Yes, we're not able to sort of wipe your grade or remove your submission if you've handed in your piece of work. In terms of mitigation, yeah, we wouldn't be able to kind of retrospectively go back or go back into the past and remove your submission. We do get asked quite often, so please do take that into consideration. Apply before the deadline, or certainly apply before you've submitted the work, because once you've submitted it, as I said, you would be looking at that appeals process, which Hauwa, I know teams in the BEDS can support you with that, and we can support you up in student engagement and welfare, but ideally let us know before, because we can hopefully support you in a much smoother way that gives you confidence in that decision prior to your assessment being due.
Yeah, okay, thank you.